Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are, and once again, another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning at 1 a.m. in London, 3 a.m. out in Israel, and it's 10 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. And here we are once again. Hello, everybody. My name is Frank Allan. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live, and that's where we are, originating from New York City. That's where we come, and we come to you all over the world. No matter where you are, we're right there. All you have to do is just chime in and catch us. Now, we are here for the next hour, and in that hour, we have so many things to talk about. We have a whole packed show for you, and we're going to get as much information as we can. You know, as the week goes by, you see information just mounds up, but we're going to get to the most important things. And then we're going to talk about a lot of other things that you may want to talk about. If you're here for the very first time, well, of course, we come on every week at this time. Look at your time clock, because you may be in a different time zone. And whatever it says on your clock, that's what time we come on in your area. And so now that you know that, you can join in each week. And of course, you can be like everyone else, join in conversation if you like, because I, as the host, will start things off as I'm doing now. And then as we move along, conversation, you can chime in anytime you want, even right now. If you want to use your fingers on your keyboard, on your telephone, on your computer, or even on your iPads, or any kind of device that you use to pick us up that has a keyboard, let your fingers do the walking on that. Say whatever you want to say. Of course, we'll entertain you. All of your thoughts and ideas. It's free exchange, open opinions and ideas, because that's what we're all about on this show. That's why we call it Talk Back Live. And with that, we also like you to know that we're coming from 3 different places all around the world. Of course, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well. And of course, any one of those 3 areas or those 3 outlets that you could use it. And of course, you'll pick us up and you can communicate with us just the same. All you have to have is a keyboard and 10 fingers. Sometimes when you go on a computer and use your keyboard, you don't even need 10 fingers. You need basically no more than 8. Anyway, whatever finger, sometimes people just use 1 finger, but whatever it is that you use, as long as you can get in touch with us, that would be great. And of course, as I said, we will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook for the very first time, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take the time right now to tag all of your friends. Do that. You can do that, and when you tag them, they'll see that notification from wherever they are if they're online, and all they have to do is click onto that, and guess what? It automatically brings them to us, because they'll trust you if they know that the notification is coming from you. And of course, they'll come in, they'll see you, they'll see me, and everybody else here that's involved. That's all you have to do. So do that right now, if you will, because the more the merrier. And if they like what they see, if they like what they hear, of course, hopefully they'll be back again and again and be full-fledged members just like you. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, well, hey, I always tell you guys, it's very important to us that you go out there and you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You're there right now, and all it takes is your mouse and a click, and right there, you'll see where it says subscribe. So drag your mouse over there, hit subscribe, and that's it. You can do it right now. Right now, you can do it. It's no effort. You don't miss anything. And once you click onto that, you'll become a full-fledged member, even if you don't. But the thing is that the object of the whole thing is to get you to do that, because every time we come on live, or if we post a video of some sort, you'll get instant notification. That's the benefit of subscribing to YouTube. And you'll get a chance to keep in touch with us and see what we're doing. And so there you go. So do that right now. You have a chance to do that right now. We would appreciate that. For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you have nothing to do. Just sit back and relax and enjoy the show. But at the same time, make sure you keep the word going from everywhere. Everybody you know, your family, friends, relatives, let them know that we're on the air. You can do that right now as we speak until we get the show going. We're kind of like slowly but surely getting into it. But the most important thing is that you get them in on it. And so there you have it. So if you on three, one of those three will get you there. Now, we're going to be here, as I said, for a whole hour. We got a lot of things to do in conjunction with talking to you, and you can talk to everyone that's here. We also do our routine. We have a certain routine that we have here too, in just a few minutes from now, in this particular half hour, as a matter of fact, we're going to link up with Brian Camp. Brian Camp is our sports guy. He comes along and brings us the latest developments in today's world of sports. He's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And so all we have to do is link up with him, and that'll be just in a few minutes from now. And if you have any questions, sports related, while he's on the air with us, you can do that. All you have to do, again, I keep saying it, just type it in and he'll see you and he'll answer all of your questions. That's what the whole thing is all about. So we look forward to seeing him. He'll be here. And I'm pretty sure he has a lot to talk about. Super Bowl is coming up pretty soon. And we'll talk more about that later, see who's in the standings and who is eligible and who's not eligible. You probably know that by now, but just in case you don't know, I'm going to save all of that information for when Brian comes in. He'll get a chance to do that. Also, later on in the program, I have a little feature, what we call This Day in History. Now, whatever happened on this day in history, here we are, December 21st. Whatever happened on this day in history, we have that information too. And we'll bring that along to you just as well. Also, at the end of the show, just before the end of the show, we do what we do each week too. Weekend is coming up. And by the way, it's going to be a long one, a long weekend. So the weekend is coming up. And one of the things in terms of celebrating the Christmas holiday, of course, you may want to catch up on some movies as well. And just in case you are one of the people who like to do that, well, I have my picks of the week directly from Turner Classic Movies. And of course, I will bring those along to you. That's coming up towards the end of the show, so get ready for that. Remember, though, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. There we go. We got all of that out of the way, and we did it all in one breath. How did you do that? One breath. That's all it takes. Well, we're so glad to have you aboard with us. And yes, I mentioned it's the Christmas holiday season. Here we go. We just wrapped up Hanukkah, but people are still celebrating. We still wish everybody a happy Hanukkah anyway. But now we come into the Christmas season. And you have 4 days before that glorious day, that marvelous day, that Christmas day. And if you haven't completed your Christmas shopping, well, you have a couple of more days left. You have tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and things open on Sunday, I'm pretty sure. And you can get that out of the way before Sunday night, because you want to make sure that all of your wrappings are done. So when company or friends come over and you have their presents, you'll have it all wrapped up. And of course, Santa Claus, of course, will be able to help you out too, just as well. So all of that is coming along, and we're looking forward to Christmas. And then, of course, after Christmas, it's another big event afterwards, New Year's. Now, a lot of people are going to be traveling, and I understand that Thursday, we're here Thursday here. So I understand that a lot of people doing a lot of traveling. As a matter of fact, this is supposed to be the heaviest traffic as far as driving and air traffic. This is about the heaviest part of the season because everybody is taking off. Tomorrow is another day too. People are taking off because we want to make it in time for the weekend. And there are a lot of people that will be taking off and doing their thing and taking flights and everything. So we hope that that you get to your flight on time and that it's a smooth flight with no delays, not a glitch. Hopefully not. Let's keep our fingers crossed for you. But for those of you who are not taking off, and you are probably some of the ones that want to just stay home locally with family and friends that you have here. Some people have family and friends outside of town. They want to go out and celebrate with them. But those of you who have family here, It's not all lost. You don't have to travel. A lot of people don't like to travel on Christmas or some of those big holidays that we have, but people are doing it. But if you're one of the ones that just want to sit back and maybe travel next door, or maybe a cab ride away, or maybe a bus ride away, or a subway ride away, right? You can see your family locally and you can still have the same celebration. So we have all of that coming up too. And the day after Christmas, which is Monday, Tuesday, as a matter of fact, Christmas is Monday. Tuesday, the day after, we celebrate the 7 days of Kwanzaa. So that's coming up too. So there's so many things to look forward to. And we want to make sure that everybody is safe and sound and hopefully when you get to your destination, say hello to your family and friends from me too. And then, while you're there with your family out of town, get them in on the action. Tell them about the show too, because like I said, we're global. We're all around the world, anywhere around the world. That's where we are. And of course, if you have good Wi-Fi, you can pick us up no problem. Just be in a place where there's a lot of great hot spots, and then you can pick us up. So there you go. So Christmas is coming up. And we're all ready and set to go. What are you going to be doing for Christmas anyway? A lot of people are going to be doing different things. But we hope anyway, wherever you are, wherever you're going, you travel, it's going to be a safe one. Now, that in mind, that just segues, this is a perfect segue. You're going to be on airplanes and trains and things like that if you're going away doing things like that, right? So we want to remind you, hopefully, that you had taken your shots before you made that board. Hopefully you did. I just want to remind you, for those of you who are not traveling, well, it's a good time to take your shots. And I'm talking about the COVID-19 shots. These are the updated versions now. This is the updated version of the COVID-19 vaccination. And you should be able to take that. And it would be and I hope that those of you who are traveling had taken it already. That would be a good thing because even though the mask is not mandatory, but people are wearing their mask anyway. And even on the buses and the subways here in New York, people are still wearing them. And that's a good thing since people are still looking out. Even though COVID is no longer a death sentence, but it still exists and it can still affect you in many, many ways. So you want to stay away from it as much as you can. You want to prolong it. A lot of people have gotten it and survived it, especially the people who have taken their shots and being proactive and keeping up with them, keeping up to date with the shots. And so along with the flu shots as well, I'm pretty sure you have taken those already, because the flu season is here too. So, and if you're going to take your shots, you go to your pharmacist or anything like that, you walk in there and they may tell you have to make an appointment. And then maybe, you can make an appointment right there on the spot. Or they may say you can go online and make the appointment. Or depending on where you live, there may be some places where you can go and just walk right in and just take the shots. And the good thing about it too, ladies and gentlemen, if you take the flu and the COVID-19 shots, you can take them both at the same time, the same day. It's safe. And so you want to make sure, we want to make sure that you guys are healthy and happy right throughout the holiday season, because that's what we're looking for, the holiday season. And if you're just joining us once again, this very moment, you're watching Talk Back Live. And we're going to be here, as I said, for a whole hour. We killed about 13, 14 minutes away already. So we're like 13, 14 minutes into the show right now. And so we would like you so much to stay with us. And if you're working right now and you're on your coffee break because, it's daytime someplace else, although it's nighttime over here, and it's work time where you may be on the other side of the world, stay with us, stay at your desk, take your coffee break right there wherever you are in front of the computer. And then when you finish the coffee break, you'll still be at your desk and you can do what they call multitasking. So we got a lot of good things ahead of us coming our way for this season. And we look forward to a brand new year that's coming up. And keep your prayers open, because we had some kind of a 2023, right? And we're looking forward to a great 2024. And that means all around the world. We're looking forward. We've got a lot of fighting to do, but we're still looking forward to a great new year. And I hope whatever your plans are or whatever you have set for the new year, maybe you're going to be making some of those resolutions that a lot of people make. Some people keep them and some people don't. You know, but we hope that you do. If you're making your New Year's resolutions, we hope that you're making yours okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move along right now, and of course, we thank you so much again for being along with us. But right now, we're going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina, because as we always do at this time, we bring Brian Camp. We link up with him each week. Now, those of you who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, you'll get a chance to see him. There he is. He's coming in. And but for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you won't be able to see him because we're not designed that way. But anyway, nevertheless, you can still talk to him. Have any sports questions? Brian, are you going to be able to answer those sports questions?
Sure, just throw them away. You know, it's throw them away. Whatever you have, give it to me. I may not be able to see it, but you know, I was just one. I was just
whatever. I'll pass it along to you.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'd be good. I was just watching an old time TV show, the Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra Christmas show. It had their sons. I didn't know Dean Martin had a son named Junior.
Yeah.
Dean Martin Jr.
Yeah.
As you can see, as old, they was doing a duet. The four of them was doing a song together. Sammy Davis made a guest appearance and everything. But anyway, good evening to you all out there who's out there on a happy holiday season. Wherever you are right now, be safe, but enjoy the festivities of this time of the year. It is fun, it's joyous. I was listening to the South Soul Orchestra. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Christmas album or CD, whatever you want to call it nowadays. And I just love it. I just sing it, just sing along and everything. And I wonder if there was ever was going to make a remake, but you know what? Maybe it's best they don't make a remake. Leave it the way it is. It's great. It's fun, and you just enjoy it and everything.
Vince Montana's no longer here. It's he was the leader of that orchestra, but he's no longer with us.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's best that you leave it the way it is, the original. I listen to it all the time. All times of the year, in fact. So I don't just listen to the holiday, but whenever it pops up on my list, I just play it, and you know, it's just so much fun just to see it, and I mean, just to hear it, and you could just sing along and everything. So, but
you might notice that Lawrence is watching.
Who's watching?
Deborah Lawrence.
Oh, Deborah Lawrence. Yes.
You see her?
Cousin. Yes. I can't see it right now. No.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Hello to her, to my cousin. Hope all is well. And happy holiday again to everyone. To happy Kwanzaa, happy Christmas, happy to whatever you celebrate during this time of the year. Hope all is well and enjoy the festivities like I said. It is 45 degrees out here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. It was cold during the morning part, but then it got a little warmer, it got a little clearer, and it's just amazing time of the year. Not my favorite time of the year, but it's amazing time of the year where family and friends get together. And, you know, I don't know why, just don't explain to me why, but Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year. That's what I love the most. But I'm not going to keep you long. In sports, the Final Four for college football is all set for New Year's Day, January 1st. Number 4, Alabama. The Crimson Tide will go against the number 1 ranked team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines. That'll be on 5 o'clock on ESPN. The second game, it'll be the number 3 Texas Longhorns against number 2 Washington Cougars. Now, that game will be also on ESPN at 8:45. The winner of those 2 games will meet the following week for the national championship, and that's big time. This is for bragging rights to see who's going to win the championship of college football. So that's where we are. Shohei Ohtani has signed the most lucrative contract in U.S. history sports, but he's also just became the second person. I take that back. Second time that he won Male Athlete of the Year award. Many others, Michael Jordan, Michael Phelps, a lot of people won it multiple times, but he won it for the second time in 3 years. He won back in 2021, and he helped his native country, Japan, to win the World Baseball Classic. So he won the award for the second time, like I said, and he helped guided the Angels to a recognition of their franchise. But he just signed with the LA Dodgers, so he's no longer with the Angels. But he packed the stadium now. I have to say he has packed the stadium, and now he's on to going across the street to the LA Dodgers. So congratulations to him. For Christmas, Kwanzaa, however you want to celebrate it. Man, I tell you, this is going to be a weekend where you could just stay home and watch sports. December 25th, as many of us celebrate Christmas. The NFL is having 3 games. The NBA basketball team games is going to have 5 games. Let me shoot out the list. NFL, first game at 1 o'clock on CBS. The Las Vegas Raiders will go against the Kansas City Chiefs. The second game, the New York Giants would be at Philadelphia to play against the Philadelphia Eagles. That'd be at 4:30. That game would be on Fox. And the last game, the Baltimore Ravens will be traveling to San Francisco to play against the 49ers. That game is at 8:15 on ABC, ESPN Plus. So if you have nothing to do, watch some basketball. If you don't want to watch any basketball, guess what? I mean, if you don't want to watch any football, I got basketball. I got 5 games. First game, NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks will be at Madison Square Garden, the mecca of all arenas. That will be at 12 noon on ESPN. Second game will be the Golden State Warriors. I'll be going against the Denver Nuggets. That will be at 2:30 on ABC. The third game, 5 games. The third game would be the Boston Celtics against the LA Lakers. Now, that's a rivalry that goes back to the 60s. They've been going at it. These 2 franchises are the most storytelling franchise of all of sports, especially in basketball. And they have that game in the middle, prime time, 5 o'clock on ABC, on ESPN Plus as well. Game number 4, it'd be the Philadelphia 76ers will be traveling to Miami, South Beach, Florida. You know, it's going to be nice and warm weather out there for Christmas Day. That game will be at 8 o'clock on ESPN. And the last game will be the Dallas Mavericks will be traveling into the desert in Phoenix, Arizona against the Phoenix Suns. And that game starts at 10:30. That game also will be on ESPN. So I'm telling you, between Sunday and Monday, you can watch all the football games. Monday, Christmas Day, you can relax. If you're going to be hosting the holidays, you don't have to worry about it. Just let the family and friends come on over, but tune into those games. It's going to be great games. Playoff implication is involved too. This day in sports, December 21st, 1891, the first game of basketball based on rules by James Naismith, played by 18 students in Springfield, Massachusetts. He is the founder of basketball. He's the founder of how basketball began, and his name is written all over it. Also, the Hall of Fame also has his name written all over it as well. 1959, Tom Landry accepts the coaching job with the Dallas Cowboys. 1969, Vince Lombardi coaches his last game in a 20-10 loss to Dallas. And in 1980, Harold Carmichael ends the NFL streak of 127 consecutive catches. That means he caught at least one pass in 127 games, which is a streak that's probably lives on forever. Also, Cincinnati defeats Bradley 75-73 in 7 overtimes. That's an NCAA basketball record. They went to overtime 7 times. That game must have lasted for 4 hours or so, maybe even more. 1987, Barry Sanders is the third running back to rush for 2,000 yards in a season. Let me stop here. Barry Sanders, if you get a chance, you have to watch the Barry Sanders story. You have to watch it. It was he explained why that he retired at an early age and he was in his prime, something like what Jim Brown did, the late Jim Brown, who retired after 9 seasons. But Barry Sanders, get a chance, watch it. It's on, I believe it's on Prime Video. It's on Prime Video. If not, check your local listings. You could get a chance to watch it. It's a very good documentary as well. Birthdays today, 1911, Josh Gibson, Hall of Fame catcher from the Negro League, was born in Buena Vista, Georgia. Josh Gibson is supposed to have been known as the White Babe Ruth. He hit, some say he hit 83 home runs or more. He never made it into the major leagues because of the color barrier. African Americans and people of color were not allowed to play baseball until 1947. But he was a monster. He hit the ball. When he hit it. It was well out of the ballpark. So he was inducted to Baseball Hall of Fame because in recent years they did count the old Negro League, and they counted their stats as well too. Joe Paterno, happy birthday to Joe Paterno. And he is the NCAA coach for the Penn State Nittany Lions, was born in Brooklyn, New York. 1943, Dave Kingman, Major League Baseball utility and designated hitter, was born in Pendleton, Oregon. 1954, happy birthday to Chris Everett, tennis great, winner of 18 Grand Slams, was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And happy birthday to the late Florence Griffith Joyner, Olympic gold, was born in Los Angeles, California. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a nice, cool night here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, boy. You guys didn't get any storms, anything, did you?
No, we had some cold weather. Like I said, with Charlotte, it gets cold. It could get down to the 20s, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock. And within 2 hours, the temperature jumps up to 50 to 55 degrees.
Over here on the East Coast, we had a lot of floodings. Here in New York, boy, we were like, depending.
I know.
And you've seen it, right? Or depending on where you go, you have to have a rowboat.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah. It was really flooded. I was watching New York news down here, and it was really bad. It was really bad.
And the water in some areas are still still haven't receded yet. They're still trying to bail it out. It's crazy. Climate change. A lot of people talk about this climate change. This climate change. It's like they call it a hoax, but it's not a hoax. I mean, look, what happened this past summer? We had all of that hot weather, particularly when we had that scare over there coming from Canada. We had that wildfire that all of that smoke drifted off and covered New York like a blanket.
Yeah, it's some crazy weather. I know New York gets the for whatever reason, New York is so close to Canada. Yeah. They get a lot of that stuff that's going around. But I remember that this last summer with all that smoke and that fog that was really coming in, and those wildfires, But I mean, New York. One thing about New Yorkers, as a former New Yorker, well, I always will be a New Yorker. They're very resilient people, and we know how to adjust to things like that.
Yeah, that smoke was so bad that even when you had your windows closed, you could still smell it.
Oh yeah,
it's just that bad. I don't want to get ahead of us too far, but how's the Super Bowl shaping up?
Well, we're still in regular season, so we still get 3 more regular season games. Yeah, playoff implication is still going on. We don't know who's going to make the play. We know some of the teams have clinched their division, but we don't know the full team, all the teams, because it's going to be 14 teams that's going to make the playoffs, and 7 in each conference. So that's why these games are very important on this coming week, especially on Christmas Day. So be ready. be prepared. It's going to be tense. If you're home, stay home, watch the game. If you got company, yeah, let them come in, sneak away and watch the game, or make them watch the game.
I know it's early, but who would you like to see in the Super Bowl?
The Dallas Cowboys, no question about it. That's my team. I would love to see the Dallas Cowboys against the Kansas City Chiefs. Believe it or not, these are two historical teams that's going at it. It would be great, but if I have to pick, it would be the Cowboys and the Chiefs. You talking about ratings would be high sky. Ratings would be off the charts.
I think with the California Chiefs, I think Taylor Swift has something to do with them doing so well.
Kansas City, yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, Travis Kelce and is dating Taylor Swift. I mean, I don't know how they try to hide it, but she comes to the games and they sneak off, and
That's their
business.
Yeah,
that's their business, and he goes cross country, across the world to visit her to see her in concert. Yeah,
I guess she knows how to work her time well, because she's a busy lady too. So I guess she knows how to work her schedule where she can go see the games at times. She doesn't make all the games, but she's been to a lot of them. So I has a way of making her own schedule. Well, she's Taylor Swift. She makes her own schedule. She does her own thing.
She sure does.
She's a billionaire. She's a billionaire, so they have to listen to her.
Yeah, her and Beyonce is like neck and neck for most popular concerts and things like that. I know Taylor Swift has a little bit of an edge on her right now, according to the latest reports that came across the wire. So, but they're both talented people. But right now, Taylor Swift is one of the hottest things out there.
Yeah, yeah, Taylor Swift mania. All right, so what does it look like for tomorrow?
All right, school's out, so I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be there. I'll be around. I don't know what studio I'll be in. I'll find a studio, but yes, I will be here tomorrow, God's willing, at 10 o'clock, 10:20. And by the way, that was a nice interview that you had last week too. I really enjoyed that interview with the guest that you had.
Oh, yeah. Whitney Devlin.
Yeah.
She went right back to the Allan Freed days, boy, and it was a light to talk to. She was very easy to talk to. She told me, she says, "I like you." She says, "You're very easy to talk to." I mean, she said that,
Yeah.
It's a good and we
I tell you, I love history. History was always one of my favorite subjects.
Yeah.
And I love to hear history about different cultures and different events. And I was locked in. I wish I could ask her some questions about those days, how it looked like it was so much fun, and back in those days. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one of your questions, but it was a little too late at the time. But you want to ask, but yeah, you could find her. There's a video of her actually dancing. She was like 14 years old. She was on the show dancing. There's a video of her,
Okay.
And then but it was a good. I was trying a long time to get her on the show, but she responded when I called her the last time, so it was good. It was all good. Okay, well, listen. We mentioned Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa, by the way, it starts the day after
December 26th. Yes.
Day after 7 days.
Yeah.
7 days.
7 days.
Celebrating that. So there's a lot to celebrate. And then the New Year's come along as well. So and then once that comes by, let's look forward to a brand new year, a great new year. We got a lot of fighting to do. There's a lot of things, a lot of obstacles we got to kick around.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Politics. We're gonna try to keep politics aside until the New Year's.
Yeah.
And just enjoy the holidays right now.
Yeah. Well, all right, Brian. Well, I'll catch you tomorrow morning and bright and early right here on the car.
Peace.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. He's always with us each week at this time. And of course, if you have ever have any questions about sports, anything sports related, of course, you could always ask him live on the air, or, if you don't get it on time, we could relay all of the questions to him. But he will be here tomorrow morning as well. So tune in tomorrow morning on the coffee hour. I'll tell you more about that before we go off the air. But he'll be here tomorrow as well. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're going to be with you for the balance of the hour. We hope that you stay with us. I didn't make mention, but actor Jack Axelrod, best known for General Hospital and Grey's Anatomy, died of natural causes in Los Angeles. He began taking acting courses at the University of California, Berkeley, before becoming a licensed architect in Washington, D.C. He died at the age of 93 years old. Okay, now, again, we're going to be here till the top of the hour. And if you have anything in particular you want to talk about, by all means, we would like to get you involved in the show. Any subject at all we could talk about, because that's what this show is all about. It's the name of the game called Talk Back Live, and you can talk back live to us. And we'll be delighted to answer all of your questions or anything that you may want to talk about. Whether even it's about Christmas, or if you need help with your Christmas shopping. Now, I'm not really good at that. Honestly, a lot of people, they do Christmas shopping. They love the idea of gift giving and all of that, and buying gifts for other. I'm lousy at that. I am lousy at buying gifts for people because, sometimes you don't know. Maybe it's something, you buy something that they don't need or don't want, and you don't want to blow your money on something that buy something that person don't need or want. So I would rather actually, the best thing to do is for me, where I stand, the way I look at it is that either give them some money or a gift card or something like that. If you're like me and you don't want to go out and buy a gift in fear of they may not need it or may not want it, get out of it by buying them, giving them money, let them buy their own thing, or a gift card or something like that. A lot of people are doing that though, buying gift cards, and I guess that's a good way to go, isn't it? Don't you think? I think so. Anyway, we have, it's time right now, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to go back in time on this day in history. And back in 1914, the first feature-length silent film comedy, Tilly's Punctured Romance, was released, starring Marie Dressler, Mabel Normand, and Charlie Chaplin. On this day in history, 1933, Fox Film signs Shirley Temple at the age of 5 years old to a studio contract. On this day in history, in 1934, French film Zuzu premieres in Paris, starring Josephine Baker, who was the first Black woman to star in a major motion picture. On this day in history, 1937, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the first full-length animated feature film and the earliest in the Walt Disney Animated Classic Series, premieres at the Carthay Circle Theater in Los Angeles. On this day in history, 1949, Samson and Delilah, directed by and produced by Cecil B. DeMille, starring Hedy Lamarr and Victor Mature, premiered in New York. On this day in history, 1952, WSBT TV, Channel 22 in South Bend, Indiana, a CBS station, begins broadcasting. On this day in history, in 1956, the Montgomery bus boycott ends. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Ralph Abernathy, E.D. Nixon, and Glenn Smiley ride in a new integrated bus after Supreme Court rules segregated buses unconditional. On this day in history, in 1958, Charles de Gaulle wins a 7-year term as first president of the Fifth Republic of France. On this day in history, in 1960, Ornette Coleman records his influential album, Free Jazz, a collective improvisation established the name of the free jazz sound. On this day in history, in 1962, U.S. and Cuba negotiate accord for Cuba to release Bay of Pigs captives in exchange for $23 million worth of medicine and baby food. And back in 1968, David Crosby, Stephen Stills, and Graham Nash of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young premiered together in California. In 1968, Glenn Campbell, his album Wichita Lineman goes to #1 in the US. Back in 1969, Diana Ross, final TV appearance as a Supreme on the Ed Sullivan Show, performing Someday We Will Be Together, after which Sullivan announced her upcoming departure from the group. Back in 1975, the revival of Jerry Herman's musical Hello Dolly, starring Pearl Bailey, closes at the Minskoff Theater in New York City after 51 performances. In 1987, 3 white New York teens were convicted of manslaughter in the death of a black man. In 1922, ventriloquist Paul Winchell, who did the voices of Jerry Mahoney and Knucklehead Smith, he was born in New York City and he passed away in 2005. And actress Jane Fonda was born on this day in 1937 in New York City. She's 86 years old today. Musician Frank Zappa was born on this day in 1940 in Baltimore, Maryland, and he died December 4th, 1993 at the age of 52 years old from prostate cancer. In 1942, soul singer and R&B singer Carla Thomas, remember her hit Gee Whiz? She was born in Memphis, Tennessee. She's 81 years old today. Actor Samuel L. Jackson was born on this day in 1948 in Washington, D.C. He's 75 today. Happy birthday. What an actor he was. He's a great character actor, too. In 1953, R&B singer Betty Wright, the cleanup woman, was born in Miami, Florida. She passed away in 2020. Actor Ray Romano of Everybody Loves Raymond was born on this day in 1957 in Queens, New York. He's 66. In 1965, actor Andy Dick from the sitcom News Radio was born in Charleston, South Carolina. He's 58 today. In 1947, actress Estelle Getty, she was one of the original Golden Girls. She weds Arthur Gettleman. In 1958, actress Ingrid Bergman weds producer Lars Schmidt. In 1983, actress Loretta Swit, Hot Lips from MASH, weds actor Dennis Hulaman, and they got divorced in 1995. In 1991, actress Jane Fonda weds CNN founder Ted Turner in North Florida. In 1996, pop singer Lionel Richie weds clothing designer Diane Alexander in New York. They got divorced in 2004. In 2012, weather anchor Sam Champion weds fine arts photographer Ruben Robert in New York City. In 2012, CNN anchor Aaron Burnett weds finance executive David Rubalata, and they got married in New York City. In 2012, Rolling Stones guitarist Ronnie Woods weds theater producer Sally Humphrey in London, England. In 2014, Elton John weds Canadian filmmaker David Furnish in Windsor, England. In 1945, novelist Ernest Hemingway and novelist Martha Gellhorn, they got divorced after 5 years of marriage. And USWW2, that's World War II, General Patton died on this day in 1945 at the age of 60 years old from congestive heart failure. He was born November 11th in 1885, and he was born in San Gabriel, California. In 1974, actor Richard Long dies at the age of 47. And finally, in 1992, blues guitarist and singer Albert King, the brother of B.B. King, dies of heart attack at the age of 69 years old. So that's what's happening on this day in history. And those of you may know something about what happened on this day in history, and I didn't mention it, maybe because I didn't know anything about it. Well, please feel free to jump in there and type it in there, and I will see it. And of course, I will pass it along to everyone who's watching. And we'll do that. That would be great because we do that feature each week at this time on this day in history. So thank you so much for joining us here for Talk Back Live. We're going to be with you. And to all of you who are getting ready to leave us right now, we hope you don't. We hope you stick around. We want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. But if you're going to leave us now, please come back tomorrow morning for the coffee hour. There's a lot of things to do for the Christmas holiday. Ryan mentioned some of the things he's going to do. You got sports coming up. And of course, that's always on Sunday. But then again, Christmas Day, that's another day. That's a day everybody's going to be off. And once you get by the holiday, they call it the dreaded holiday. Christmas affect different people in different ways, you know. But it's always nice for it to come around. I'm always looking forward to it. Brian says Thanksgiving is his best time of the year, but Christmas is always nice. And sometimes the spirit of Christmas, sometimes it doesn't hit you until late, you know. And I didn't even feel it. You know, sometimes it just snuck up on me. But ready or not, here it comes. And I hope you do enjoy it. Okay, listen, those of you who like to get in touch with me, because I know I always ask you guys if you want to chime in conversation, that would be good. But if you want to get in touch with me personally, I have two ways you can do that. I have a email address and I have a telephone number. So I am going to give you the email address first, so you can take that down. The email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. Allan, please spell it ALLAN. Okay, that's how it's spelled. If you do it otherwise, you won't get through. That's ALLAN, frankallanprod@aol.com. Prod is PROD, that's short for Productions, frankallanprod@aol.com. Now, the telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. A lot of you may want to contact me for whatever reason it is. We would love to hear from you. I don't care if you just want to email or call and just say hi. That'll be great. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And you can chime in at any time you like. Maybe you have some ideas about the show, or maybe you want to critique the show, which is fine with me, because whatever you say, we can take that to heart and kind of roll with it. And because everything and everyone is always subject to improvement. So of course, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear anything that you would have to say. And maybe there's a certain person that you would like to watch on the show, or want me to interview on the show. That would be great. And we'll try our best to do it. We're always trying our best to do whatever we can to make things right, and for you guys out there who are watching. Okay, so let me give you that email address once again. It's frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Telephone number once again is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. I don't know about you, but I am looking forward to having a great new year when it comes in. I don't care, who's fighting who, from the Republicans to the Democrats. I don't care about that. I don't listen to that. I don't bother with it. I mean, I watch the news to see what's going on, but I refuse to get a heart attack over it, because it's not worth it. So I am looking forward to a brand new year, regardless of what's going to happen. And with that being said, you already heard about it already. Colorado Supreme Court determined that 345/666 Beast Incarnate, those of you who don't know who that is Donald J. Trumpmore. Donald J. Trumpmore. Well, you already know about that. Colorado already said that they disqualified him from the primary ballot. So he's going to be off the ballot. And already, and I found out this morning, there were already threats to the judges who fostered this thing yesterday. The breaking news came around last night, maybe about an hour ago last night. Somewhere around the 7 o'clock hour it happened. But Yeah, so that's what's happening. And you know something, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not feeling bad about this at all. As a matter of fact, you know what? I say, hey, you know what? More cities, join in and do it. Now, I understand that Chris Christie, came out, and then a few others came out at the same time and said that uh, they're not going along with this. They think that the people should vote them out or whatever it is, which is a good idea, which they're going to do anyway. But they said this whole thing is crazy, and of course the Republicans are going to say, this is ridiculous. They shouldn't do that. But you got to understand that. You got to understand this. And I don't know why it took them so long to realize this. According to Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, he's not supposed to be serving at any time ever again. Now, this is what it is. This is down, hey, listen, the 14th Amendment is a pretty long amendment, but you got sections. And here's the section 14. Now, here, I'm going to read it to you right now. It says, no person shall hold any office, civil or military, under the United States, who having previously taken an oath as an officer, which, by the way, Donald Trump Moore is an officer. It says, as an officer of the United States, to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or even aid or comfort the enemies thereof. Okay? Now, you can get a copy of this. If you want to read the whole 14th Amendment, you can go online and get a copy of it. But I just picked that out because that's part of the 14th Amendment, and this goes back to war times. I believe World War I. This is part of the Constitution, which, by the way, this man, if he gets in office, he says he's going to abolish the Constitution, But let me ask you how this works. If, let's say, for the sake of argument, I don't believe it's going to happen, but just for the sake of argument, let's say, for instance, if he becomes president of the United States for the second time in a row, all right, if he does that, he is going to have to take a sworn-in oath once again, because he's not president. You can't be president until you are sworn in. And you know what they're going to do? He's going to have to swear in. He will protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. All right. He's going to have to do that. I mean, he did it before, but then, we saw what happened those past 4 years, but he's going to have to do it again. Now, how does that work if he's going to swear on that Constitution that he will protect and defend the Constitution of the United States? And then once he gets in there, what happens? He's going to break it. It's a long road, and it's going to be a long road if this guy gets into office once again. That's why I always say each week, I say, next year will come before you know it. November, I believe it's November 5th, November 7th. I can't remember offhand. I don't have the calendar with me. Election day of 2024, whatever that day is, we're going to be casting our lines for votes, or they will be casting their line for votes, and we're going to have to vote. Now, who you vote for? Well, I don't say who you vote for, but I can tell you who not to vote for. But I guess it's like saying the same thing as who to vote for. But I can tell you what, I'll put it this way to you. If you're looking for this country to go back to where it was before, as a country of democracy, right? And in line with the Constitution of the United States, right? That protects, by the way, all of us, or supposed to protect all of us. I say supposed to, but then that's another show. You know what I mean? All right. Or do you want to be part of a Nazi kind of, I don't know, Hitler kind of a democracy? But there is no democracy. You can't say Donald Trump and Hitler, and you can't put democracy in between the two. It doesn't work. So again, you have to decide on where you want to go. And then a lot of people who had voted for him the first time, some of them are thinking, do I want to really go through this again? Do the country, or do I want the country, or do I want my children to see this? Because you got to remember that these politicians, they ought to wise up, because everyone's watching. And a lot of these young people are watching too, which, by the way, speaking of young people, I would hope that the young people, and a lot of the young people are going to make the sway, because a lot of them are not satisfied with what Joe Biden is doing at this particular point. But think about the alternatives on what might happen if you don't vote for Biden, and you decide to jump on the bandwagon with Donald J. Trump more. You know, you have to decide on where you're going to go with that. But yeah, so he's off that ballot. So I would say, hey, New York, where are you? New York, where are you? Join in there. Get, you know, here's a Supreme Court, but then we got a Supreme Court that's, you know, 90% MAGA anyway. So, you know, but anyway, it's a good start, and a lot of people may be following suit on this. A lot of cities in the United States may be following suit. We'll keep you abreast of what's happening. I'm pretty sure if you keep watching your news, we'll see what's happening. But it gets worse and worse every day. When you think you can't go, well, this guy can't go any lower. If you think he can't go any lower, watch again. You know, there's a bottomless pit here. And of course, Rudy Giuliani, of course, now he has to shell out $143 million to Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. Ruby Freeman is the mother, Shay Moss is the daughter. You know, those are the two Georgia election workers, right? They were threatened, and he put in, and what Giuliani did, you already know the story. You know, he put out a lot of false statements about them, and in turn, these two women were threatened by people. They can't even live in their same hometowns. They have to move other places. They can't go shopping. They can't do anything, all because the mother passed her daughter a ginger mint. And so Giuliani comes up with this idea. Oh, she was passing him over a USB drive, you know, with information on rigging the elections. You know, how silly can you get? So can you get? Anyway, I don't know how they're going to get that money, because tonight a breaking news came in that Giuliani filed for bankruptcy. So stay tuned for that. And I hope that they do get that money. Maybe they won't get a whole Megillah, but they're going to get something. And actually, they deserve the $148 million. They deserve it, and I hope somehow they get it. We'll see what happens. We'll see how that's going to work out. We have movies for you before we go, ladies and gentlemen. I have two this weekend, in case you are one of the ones that like to watch movies for the weekend, okay, because the weekend is coming up and a lot of things are going to be coming up. And if you have time, I have my picks of the week for you to enjoy as well, for your enjoyment. If you want to catch up on some old movies, let me lay these two on you. Here's one that goes back to 1961 called Pocket Full of Miracles, starring Glenn Ford, Betty Davis, and Hope Lang. That's on Turner Classic Movies, and that's on Saturday at 5:30 Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And it's a comedy. Anne Margaret is in it as well. Those of you who are Anne Margaret fans, she's in it as well. It's a nice comedy, and I love it. So you get a chance to see that. Also, here's another one. This is the final one I have here. Going My Way, 1944. Christmas, since we're into the Christmas season, Bing Crosby on Turner Classic Movies. That's starring Bing Crosby. That's on Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. So we have those two movies. And you could also go on Turner Classic Movies and go through the program guide and check out other movies that may be available that I didn't mention. But they may be to your liking, and you can check them out as well. Also, you can go down there and go onto Movie on Demand. There's a lot of great free movies. You have sporting events. You have children programs, documentary, the whole 9 yards. It's all right there. And of course, it's all for you. It's right there for you, strictly for you. So check it out. So let me go over these movies once again, just before we close out. Pocket Full of Miracles, Glenn Ford, Betty Davis, and Hope Lang. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And there's Going My Way with Bing Crosby, also on Turner Classic Movies, and that's Sunday, and you can catch that Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And again, it's right there on Turner Classic Movies. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to come back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for the coffee hour. I hope you get a chance to be here too. Brian Camp will be here. We'll have the latest developments in today's world of sports on his show, Sports Update. But if not, meet me back here next Thursday. Next Thursday, part of the holiday will be over. Next Thursday. And we'll be here for more of Talk Back Live. And we'll have Brian Camp again with more sports and all kinds of other interesting things happening too. Deborah says, "Leave the World Behind" by Obama's. Obama's is very interesting. Okay, and "Leave the World Behind" by the Omas. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch you back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a good morning, good night, and good evening, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stanky. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.